Plateau State have been in the news for so many years when it comes to violence and the killings here and there between the Fulanis and the indigenes of the land. In 2 weeks, two different incidents happened. Honestly, I don't get it. What the hell is going on in Plateau State? The governor actually came, at least for the, I don't know if you have, this is the first time I heard a governor actually apologizing to the people and taking blame, that actually having to blame himself for the death of these people. Is sort of, that was humbling to me. That sound, I know it's Matfuil. What's is it not Matfuil?
Mafwang.
Mutfwang, not Mafwang. Mutfwang is someone I know personally, one-on-one. When he was, I used to, as a contractor there, he was the chairman of UB, Universal Basic Education Development, UB, I've forgotten that, whatever. He was an architect at the Kaduna. He started from Kaduna. He wasn't even the chairman then. He started from Kaduna. He was the chief architect then. UBE. They call it, I think, UB. It's not a Universal Basic Education Board or thereabout. I've forgotten the full initial.
I hope you are not. I hope you are not mistaking the person. Mufwang is a lawyer. He was in Kaduna before he became governor of Plateau
really?
State.
Is it that? Oh, that's a
Yes.
different person then.
It's not an architect. You are probably confusing.
Okay, I'm mixing it up.
Mm.
He looks
was
so
with
much
us
like him. And
here
he's the same
in
Mood
Kaduna.
Fwang from the same Plateau
Caleb.
State.
His
Okay, the
name
one
is
I know in
Caleb.
UB or whatever was an architect, or he's an architect rather. Oh, it's not
No,
the
this
same.
is
Okay. And they look alike. My God.
This is a lawyer.
Oh,
He
okay,
was
okay.
with us in Kaduna.
Oh, okay. Oh, in Kaduna. This one too was in
Yes.
Kaduna too. So how come my God. All right. All right. I think that was a mix up. Sorry about that. All right. But honestly, he was, to me, a governor to do that actually admitted and took responsibility of the crisis, of the killings there, and probably promised to do better. But I don't see him. And this issue of Plateau State security, it's not totally in the hand of the governor. The governors are including successive governors, the previous governors rather. Yeah, they lack little or no power. They have little or no power to circumvent or to contain the situation, because it's the security apparatus is controlled by the federal government. So it depends on who is there as the president and who is there as national security advisor and who is there as our security chiefs, both in the military and paramilitary. So it is dependent on those factors. That's just the reality. Barrister, honestly, this Plateau thing is I don't know if I will call it an epidemic, and it's just I don't know. I don't know what to actually call it. What's your opinion on that?
This Plateau crisis started around 2008 and climaxed around 2010. I remember discussing this issue with people then, and I said, look, what is happening in Plateau is a test run. And if it is not nipped in the bud, it's going to spread throughout the middle belt. I could see it coming. And they did not handle it, and it spread throughout the middle belt. It has gone, it's spreading to the south, it's spreading to the southwest, trying to spread all over. That crisis started in Plateau as a minor issue between Christians and Muslims. And then the herders infiltrated the crisis, and it became a crisis that threatened the whole country. Today, as we speak, the killings have gone on for so long. Successive governors have not been able to do anything. And again, during the reign of Buhari, it was as if they were given a carte blanche. Do whatever you like. Today, as we speak, in Benue State, for instance, there are over 800 and something thousand internally displaced people who have been driven from their lands. They are in internally displaced camps. They can't go back to their land. They cannot farm. The Fulani herdsmen have taken over their land. The government, both at the state and the federal level, are turning a blind eye to what is obviously a threat to national security as a whole.
Including at the state
This
level, you
thing,
said?
even at the state level, one can say it because you cannot see that robust action from the state government. If people are being murdered in their homes razed to the ground, women, children, livestock, wholesale massacre of villages, and you do not allow the people to defend themselves. You keep telling them government is going to protect them, and government has not been protecting them for decades now. You know, Janati Danjuma made a statement before that everybody should defend himself. 2 weeks ago,
Where that man
he
is,
repeated.
Quite some time I've not heard from him.
2 weeks ago, he recalled his former statement and told them that he told them in response to what happened in Plateau State. He said he recalled telling people, defend yourself. The government and the army cannot defend you. I know my reason. I'm an insider there. This time around, he spoke and he said that somebody will be saying I should give them arms. And he said, I will not give you arms. The way those people are getting arms and killing you people, that is the way you people too should get arms. He said this is 2 weeks ago that he said it. He was very clear on this.
Anjuma said so 2 weeks ago.
Yes, 2 weeks ago. And he made reference to his former statement. I think that time that time the DSS invited him to come and clarify the statement. He didn't go there. He even told them this time that when he made that first statement, he was invited. A panel was set up. He didn't go. They set up a panel to investigate. And now he's telling them again that if you wait for the army, wait for the government to defend you, you are all going to be killed. Defend yourself. And he went ahead and said, let nobody say I should give him arms. Those people that are killing you with AK-47 know how they are getting it and also get your own. He said it openly. This issue the government does not have the will. Buhari's government, I can say openly, supported or turned a blind eye to what was happening. Tinubu's government has looked at it from a different view. So the end result is that the government does not have the will. And secondly, the army is overstretched. It has no proper equipment. You can't deploy the army to every village, every hamlet. They don't have that manpower or equipment to deploy everywhere. It is only the people that will organize themselves and defend themselves and stop this killing. Any other thing will not stop what is going on. The reason is this. The Fulani people were displaced from all neighboring countries, from Central African Republic to Burkina Faso, to Ghana, to Ivory Coast. They were totally displaced. And they looked and saw that Nigeria is home to the Fulanis. So they came into Nigeria en masse. And the best place for their cattle is the Middle Belt, because that is where the best land for animal grazing is. They have infiltrated into these places. In the past, when grazing used to be done, since I was a child, you see Fulani people rearing cattle in our backyard. During the dry season, when harvest had been done, the remaining stumps of this thing, the cattle will eat it and then put shit on the soil, which became fertilizer. So it was a symbiotic relationship. The farmers were happy because the farm were not destroyed. They have already harvested. The cattle came and deposited their cow dung, which acted as manure. Everybody was happy. Now, gradually, the Fulani is that whenever the rainy season starts, they will go back. When the dry season come, they come back. Now, later as things progress, the Fulanis that came, they were not going back again. When the rainy seasons come, they don't go back. And they now carry the cattle and enter into people's farm, and the cattle will chop and destroy a farmer's farm, which is done once a year. When it is destroyed, the livelihood of that family has been completely destroyed.
Of course.
Because there's only one farming per season. And when you carry the cattle and destroy, the whole family's livelihood has been destroyed. This is what has brought the conflict. It is about land, nothing else. They want to occupy this land and make it their own. That is the if that perspective is not looked at, then the conflict cannot be solved. That is just the truth.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know why the indigenes are not actually defending themselves as Tiwa Anjuma advised, because Tiwa Anjuma is a middle belter too. He was being frank and very, very open in this matter, on this matter. And honestly, but the problem, I think I know part of the problem. Part of the problem is we are naturally Christians. Christianity does not condone all these things. So it is a Christian, just like someone like me now. Not by design. Honestly, I don't know, Barrister, can you believe, especially when I'm someone like me in America, where you have guns everywhere, everybody is licensed to guns and whatever. I can own how many guns I choose to. Can you believe that I've never touched a gun in my life? Is it something you can believe? That
Of course.
I've never touched a gun. I've only seen a gun from distance. Maybe a policeman
I have never touched a gun before.
You two never touched a gun before?
In my life. Because I do not see any scenario of me shooting anybody.
Yeah. So
how we come to shoot anybody? Wish to kill somebody.
Yeah, that is the point. Now I am contemplating having not one, not two. I'm contemplating having guns now, but not one, not here in the US, but at least when I'm in Nigeria, I'll definitely have because I will be compelled to doing that. There's no doubt about that. Armed to the teeth. And so that is it. But the problem is, coming back to the point of the moment, we Christians, I understand why this issue of defense is we are saddled with some kind of restraint and limitation because of our faith in Christ. We believe in that Christian background. We don't believe in violence. Is not part of us. It's not our foundation. It's not our building. It's not anything about. It's not close to us. That is one. The mentality there is not the mentality is not there of arming ourselves. It's not there because we are Christians. Now, secondly, we do not have and this second one actually it's a proceed or it's an offshoot of the first reason, because we don't have leaders because of this same mentality. We don't have leaders who are evil-minded as those leaders who are Muslims, either Fulani or Hausa Muslims or whatever, who goes out, spend their money, because an average, a very other fanatical Muslims, because we have very moderate Muslims. I have some Muslim friends who are very civilized, moderate and whatever. But you see the fanatical ones who are in a position, they use their position of authority, they use their money to fund all these things and distribute these guns. You cannot find Christians doing that. It is difficult for you to find a Christian who is in a position of authority and then have such kind of mischievous motive. No, if you see a Christian in the position of authority, they are there who are corrupt minded, who are evil. They are evil for their personal gains and their personal aggrandizement. But you see Muslims, an evil man, an extreme Muslim man who is there at the position of authority, they are there to exert maximum or to inflict maximum pain on the populace out of their ideology because their brain, their psychic has been corrupted. Some of them have been brainwashed. Some of them are the weapons of brainwash. A sort of so the whole thing. It is difficult for Christians to comprehend this issue of defending yourself. But at the same time, I will advise, just like I'm thinking right now. Of course, if I'm in Nigeria, I will be compelled to arm myself to the teeth. That is just the reality because at least I can afford it. But I think Christians should begin to think in that light because if you defending yourself, it does not mean you are either a coward or you are not a Christian. Defending yourself, sometimes not even yourself. Sometimes it's defending the weak in your midst. You can be the strong man among the weak. There are some people who are under normal, no matter the circumstances, they cannot defend themselves. If you are it is part of this. It's not just about yourself, it's about people around you. It's about your family members. It's about people who are your loved ones. It's about people who are close to you. We talked about sometimes in the past, you and I, we talked about this issue of, you gave an analogy, an example of an armed robber, a gun coming to actually shoot you, shoot your family while you are there. You of course, you said you would never, you can't allow that. You would rather shoot that person. So that is what we are talking about. So I think if you are a Christian, I expect Christians, anyone that comes in contact with this show, please, we really have to summon courage and learn to work with expediency, work with necessity. Necessity at this point, it is necessary we actually defend ourselves. Let us heed to Tiwa Anjuma's advice and begin to defend ourselves. And our leaders, people who are financially buoyant, who are in a position of authority, and you have what it takes to actually arm your people, arm the Christians, arm the minorities in one way or the other to defend themselves, no, not to attack anyone, but to at least be able to defend themselves when these aggressors come or confront them. If you are there, please, honestly, I implore and enjoy and urge you to do the needful. Apply your resources towards humanity, because I call it humanity, towards the benefit of humanity. It's important because these people, they are wiping off the minorities. They are wiping off the Christians. For God's sake, now, just like Barrister Manta pointed, they have infiltrated the East, the Igbo land. They have infiltrated the South. They have infiltrated the West, and they are expanding. At what point are we going to say, or will we say that enough is enough? At what point, if you as a leader and you are buoyant, you are rich enough to actually do something, at what point will you say, this is the time for me to use my resources to arm my people against aggressors? These people are taking over now. I am not using this I'm not inciting anything. I am only propagating defense for the people, because it has become systemic. And when something has become systemic, it becomes a danger to annihilation, total annihilation of either certain tribes or certain ethnic group. So it is very, very expedient that we actually begin to defend ourselves. And our leaders, again, our leaders who are in authority, are in a position of finance or power, please do something. Since you cannot do something for so many years, for decades now, you've not been able to use your authority. Especially when Osinbajo was there, you can imagine someone like Osinbajo, a pastor. This is one of the reasons why I detest that man politically. I do not ever see, even when he wanted to vie for presidency, I said, this man, for what? Christians should never ever vote for him. How could a pastor, you can imagine what you just said now. We experience the worst of this crisis, this cleansing, this ethnic and religious cleansing during Osinbajo's vice presidency. Can you imagine? What an irony. A pastor, an ordained pastor, a believer, for God's sake. And the same thing is happening in the Christendom. We have all these big pastors flying in private jets and living in luxury and opulence and affluence. None of them are actually at the forefront of fighting for Christians or minorities in all these areas. All they know how to do is to amass wealth, stupendous wealth, to milk and fleece their members. They are vulnerable and myopic, weak members. So that is the point, Barrister.
Just like I said, in this age, to have 800 and something thousand citizens of a state in internally displaced camps for almost 7 years, who are not able to go back to their ancestral homes to access their farms, season in, season out. This is not acceptable. It's not as if the security agencies or the government does not know who is behind this. They know. They must know. The will to take on the problem is not there. And that is why the problem has persisted till today and will continue to persist. The army, like I said, is overstretched, is fighting. The army is deployed in virtually all the 36 states. And how many are they? So you don't expect the army to sort out the internal security situation in the country. The police are virtually helpless. So if we do not allow the villages, and when I say villagers, I don't mean just in the middle, but throughout the country, even in Zamfara and other places where these things are done, everybody should defend his village and his land. They should be able to defend their villages, their children, their wives, their farmlands. Everybody should be able, because the army cannot do that. They are overstretched. They cannot be deployed in every... Most times, like Plateau, when this thing happen and go before the army are called in, the deed is already done, these people merge back into the bush.
Yeah, honestly,
and it's happening again and again and again and again and again. At what point are we going to say enough is enough?
Honestly, yeah.
At what point will this thing be stopped? Is it, can nobody see that this is a threat to national security? Something has to give. And the only thing to give now is for the villagers to defend themselves. Let them arm themselves and defend them. They cannot go and kill anybody, attack anybody, but anybody that's coming to their village to attack them, they should be able to respond.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, you just brought something to my notice, in fact, and you are right, actually, that the thing is not even just affecting the Christian minorities. It's even in the, just like you mentioned, Zamfara, it's affecting even the Muslims there, for God's sake. Against this banditry. Yes, I think it has to do, but that is not that much. It's not that widespread. But at the same time, yeah, we talk generally defense. The weak should learn to defend themselves, including in area just like Zamfara, where even the Muslims are affected in such situation. That of Zamfara is it's not an ethnic stuff. It's just more of wealth. They fight for wealth, a sort of, because of this solid mineral stuff and other stuff. A sort of, I think that's what is happening there. So Zamfara's case is just a straightforward thing. It's not that complicated.
The Zamfara case is ethnic. It's between the Hausas and the Fulanis.
Oh,
that's just what it is.
I thought it's just about this mining thing.
No. The mining issue is only exacerbating the problem. The crisis is between the Hausas and the Fulanis. It's as straightforward as that.
What the hell is going on with these Fulanis, for God's sake? What? Well, I don't even know how I don't, these Fulanis are just too, they are really troublemakers. Honestly, they are really troublemakers. What the hell is going on? What is wrong with these Hausa Fulanis?
And the fact is that most of these Fulanis that are doing this are, they came in from outside Nigeria. That is the truth. Most of them came in from outside Nigeria.
It's so sad, honestly. It's so sad. It's so unfortunate. Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of this show. Barrister, thank you so very much for your time. Thank you for everything you have been doing for us on this show. You've always been there for us and with us. All right, viewers, this brings us to the end of the show. Remain blessed and see you again next time. My name is JIBRIN, and this is My Angle.